Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gift of Honesty. And today we're going to mock Satan, which he hates to be mocked. And we're going to mock him because he's honestly, if you compare God to Satan, like Satan's like in the floor, he's like below the ground, literally and figuratively speaking. And God is so much greater. Like if God wanted to, he could snuff him out like a candle, right? And that's got to make it like Satan super furious that the only reason he exists at all is, frankly, probably honestly, just to do the bidding of God in the long run, right? Because if God didn't want him around, he would just get rid of him. And so the only reason Satan exists is because he is, for whatever reason, serving some greater purpose that he probably doesn't even himself understand. Um, but yeah, today we're going to mock Satan a little bit. And I wanted to start by saying, I forget where I read this. It's 2 points I want to make today. One is that we're just going to mock him. And two, that normally when you think of God, what's the opposite of God? A lot of people would say Satan, right? And if you say, who is Satan the opposite of? A lot of people would say God. But that's putting like Satan on a pedestal that like he does not belong on. It's like comparing like a T-ball player to like an MLB player. And it's like not any MLB player. It's like comparing him to Babe Ruth, like the greatest of the greats. It's like comparing someone who just started hockey with Wayne Gretzky. It's like comparing, my daughter's kindergarten basketball team to, the Bulls back in the 80s, 90s. I'm not like a super big sports fanatic, but you get my point, right? He's not even in the same league. So when you're comparing Satan to anybody, I'll give you 2 seconds, right? Who do you compare him to? Saint Michael. It's not God. He's not even in the same ballpark as God. And I actually just realized this myself, which was so cool. And it is so empowering and so enlightening and so comforting when you think about the fact that God has no rivalry. Thank goodness, right? If Satan and God were like actually duking it out and we're like, we don't know what's going to happen here, that would suck, right? But we know how it ends. We know that we're good. You abide by God's law, you follow his teachings, you follow Jesus Christ, and you're good. You're good forever. There's no question mark. There's no ifs, ands, maybes, or buts, right? You're rock solid. You're good to go. And yeah, so Satan, he's not the opposite of God. He's the most opposite in term of like, in the sense of like good versus evil. But in terms of like power, I just personally, I don't know, maybe this is like something a lot of other people understood and maybe I'm just thick. I said this in one of my other videos, but back when I was like agnostic, I used to tell God, I was like, hey, I'll be on your side. I will be an advocate for you, but I am thick, dude. And I am. And I used to call him dude. And I kind of still do. I don't know. I mean, some people might say like, oh, that's disrespectful. But sometimes like, dude, like, help me out here, you know? Because I see him as a friend too, you know? And like, there's definitely a mutual respect. Not a mutual respect. There's a respect between me and him. But especially back in the day, I'd be like, dude, I need something big, you know? And he gave that to me, and thank God I am where I am, and God is as powerful as he is, and frankly that he has no equal. He has no rivalry, because it would be terrifying to think that maybe Satan wins in the end, right? And that's where we live in our mortal world, right? And whether it's in like politics or if you're like anywhere else in the world, not except America. There's lots of other places where you don't fear for your life, but there's lots of places where you do fear for your life, and that's the type of life that you live in. It's like, who is going to win? Is it going to be the person who wants to kill me, or is it going to be the person who is going to let me live? It's like the Jews back in World War II. It's like, is Hitler going to win? Yup, he won. Dang, how bad is this going to get? And if Satan was actually God's rival, if he was actually on that level, we'd be all sitting here in limbo like, dude, this is nuts. Like, what is going to happen here? But we don't have to live like that. It gets bad, it gets good. Frankly, when it gets bad, that's just our fault. It's not God's fault. It's just because we're sinners and we're fallen human beings. And he made us that way. So I don't know why. But I do know that ever since I welcomed God back into my life, I've been happier than ever. And thank God Satan is just like weak and pathetic and miserable little being compared to God. Because he's like an ant. He's like literally, like God could just smush him. He could just take his thumb and just snuff him out. You know, and that's gotta piss Satan off. I don't know if Satan's listening to me. I'm probably not important for Satan enough to listen to. But there's probably, I mean, I don't know if you believe this, but I firmly believe this. There's demons around, for sure. And I think there's probably demons listening to me. I think they probably prop up or crop up whenever you bring up them or God, and especially when you're trying to get word out, right? I think they probably listen, and it probably makes them really angry to think that, like, their master is just like this pitiful sucker and loser. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to follow a sucker and a loser. Like, people want their guy to be the guy, you know? And Satan's just never going to be the guy. He's going to be, like, the loser. The dude who can get, like, squished like an ant. So, thank God for us. God has no opposite. He has no equal. He stands alone, head and shoulders above the rest. And praise be to God. So, until next video, stay safe, live free. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. See ya.